With the release of Pokemon Legends ZA, many Pokemon Showdown players are eager to try out the new Megas, but there's a problem. The battle system of Legends ZA doesn't necessarily translate to Pokemon Showdown, which is a simulator of the mainline games. But the fans have come up with a solution. A fan-made Legends ZA OU format has been created, and the biggest problem of translating the Megas to Legends ZA has been solved here, as fans have come up with their own abilities for each of these new Megas. That's the biggest thing, is that Legends ZA does not have abilities in it. Some of these abilities are speculative, based on hints in the Pokédex or other clues that suggest what abilities they might really get. Undoubtedly, some of these will be incorrect when the Megas are actually available in a mainline game of some sort, but this speculative metagame is still nice to have. And it will be a nice way to try out the new Megas on Showdown. Pokemon Champions and Gen 10 are a while away, so this is very much appreciated. Why don't we get into some analysis of the Legends ZA OU metagame so far? Which Megas are popular? Which are the most promising? Let's take a look, shall we? First up, I think that we should talk about the star of the show here, Mega Starmie. And this is likely going to be a pretty accurate representation of how Mega Starmie really will play in a mainline game. Because many have speculated that Mega Starmie's ability will be pure power. And there's a reason people think this. You see, some other Megas get the ability Pure Power, Mega Mawile and Mega Medicham. And these two Megas have had a stat increase in Legends ZA to make up for the fact that they no longer have their powerful offensive ability. They've received bonus stats to accommodate for this mechanical change in Legends ZA. Starmie has exactly the same stat increase. Mega Starmie has a higher stat increase than other Megas, suggesting that perhaps it will also receive Pure Power as its ability in a mainline game. That would make sense. And it would make sense because Mega Starmie has an increased physical attack stat, and even an increased physical move pool with new options like Zen Headbutt. Pure Power is of course an ability that doubles your attack stat, and it's an outstanding ability. Both of the other Megas that get Pure Power are incredible. Mega Mawile and Mega Medicham. Pretty sure Mega Starmie will be no different, especially because of how damn fast it is for a Pure Power Pokemon, with 120 base speed. And with a stab pivoting move in Flip Turn. I would go as far as to say this is one of the best new Megas competitively here. Now, some have said that Mega Starmie, while having all this going for it, still has a very limited physical move pool, and that's true. It does have Liquidation, Aqua Jet, Flip Turn as really great stab options. It has Zen Headbutt or Psycho Cut if you prefer a more accurate option for Psychic Stab. Other than that though, it is pretty limited. Gets Double Edge if you want a big neutral hit with recoil, I suppose. Rapid Spin, of course, which isn't really used as a physical attack, but it's nice for its speed boost and its utility. Maybe you could run Avalanche for ice coverage, probably not worth it with the low power. Honestly though, I think this is enough for Mega Starmie to be really good. As far as stab types go, Water is a great one, and you have priority in pivoting with your Water stab. That's excellent. Many Pokemon have built a career on just clicking water moves in the rain. Why can't Mega Starmie do the exact same thing? On a rain team, this is a perfect fit as a breaker. Zen Headbutt may not be the most fantastic coverage on the planet, but it's decent enough to hit the water absorb Pokemon. It'll still hit really hard with stab and such for big neutral damage. Mega Starmie also gets Bulk Up, which is a good boosting option, which could help it as a win con. I'm going to go ahead and say Mega Starmie is incredible in this format. Incredible. And from what I've seen, it's been quite a popular one. I also would like to say that I'm starting to come around on the Mega Starmie design. I did lambast it in my previous video for being lazy. It is simply just Starmie with longer legs, but we must admit that it is a little bit funny. It is a little bit funny. Humanoid Starmie walking around running at you from the distance, menacingly. And perhaps the fact that it took 2 seconds to extend Mega Starmie's legs in MS Paint, maybe that adds to the humor of it, that it's so stupid, that it's funny. Whether you like Mega Starmie or not, though, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of it in this speculative metagame, and probably in the official metagame that comes out, because it does seem likely that it will get Pure Power as its ability. Mega Dragonite is another interesting one here, and Mega Dragonite has been given a pretty fitting ability, I think. They've given it the ability Soul Heart, which is the ability of Magearna. Soul Heart grants a special attack boost when the enemy faints. The Pokédex entry for Dragonite says, that it finishes off Pokemon with Mercy in its heart. That kind of sounds like what Soul Heart does. It's a heart-themed ability that activates when enemies faint. It's actually a decent extrapolation there, and I think that it's an appropriately powerful ability for a new special Mega, and it would be fitting, of course, with its new special attacking role. I think this is a good fit and a good prediction for what its ability might end up being. And Mega Dragonite certainly has the move pool and the bulk and the power to take good advantage of this ability. Agility sets are probably the most obvious way to go here. With agility, you boost up, hit them with a big special attack of some sort, and start racking up Soul Heart boosts, and you can use that to sweep. Mega Dragonite, of course, has Air Slash for Flying Stab or Hurricane if you're feeling lucky, or perhaps you're running a rain team. Mega Dragonite has all the coverage on the planet as well, with like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Thunder if you're running a rain team. It has Surf. It has Dragon-type attacks like Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor might not be the best with Soul Heart because you don't want to lower your special attack, but Dragon Pulse will do you just fine as well. This seems very promising. It does suffer, though, of course, from its rock weakness. It can't run Boots anymore because it has to run the Dragonite. But you could run this with a Magic Bouncer to try to defend against the hazards. It's also great because in its base form it has Multiscale. That can allow you to get the agility up safely, then you Mega Evolve and gain Soul Heart plus the special attack. Bit of synergy between the base form ability and the Mega ability there. Now this is just one idea for an agility set. You could also go Sub-Roost Attacker or something. More bulky direction, keep Multiscale up early on and then commit to the Soul Heart later. Perhaps, something like that. I'm sure mixed sets will have their place too. Mega Dragonite still has a respectable 124 attack stat. And you of course have Dragonite's amazing physical move pool at your disposal with Earthquake, Superpower. These could hit Blissey or Clodsire, other such special walls, Tinglu. Extreme Speed, of course, being a great priority option. And it's worth noting that if you get a priority KO with Extreme Speed, you still get the Soul Heart boost, you still get special attack, so that could be a way to snipe things and then also get a boost to show for it. This is a very promising new Mega in the ZAOU format. I think this will be very good and one to watch out for. Mega Meganium got a really good new ability here too. And I hope this is the ability it actually gets, because this would be fantastic for it. It would make it really good. The ability they chose here was Triage. Now this is pretty speculative. I could see this being its ability, but there's nothing in the dex entry or anything that really suggests that it will be this ability. But Triage is one that grants +3 priority to all healing moves. It's one of the best abilities in the game. And this applies not only to a direct healing move like Synthesis, which will now have priority, which is really good, but also any attack with a healing effect on it, like Giga Drain. Giga Drain now has +3 priority on it, and that's a powerful priority move, isn't it, with 75 base. Now these are the only two real relevant moves that get buffed by Triage, but these are good enough, and with such a high special attack on this guy, priority Giga Drain's kind of crazy. With such good bulk, priority Synthesis is kind of crazy. And then from there you can run some utility stuff. Knockoff is an alluring option to remove items. You have Dragon Tail, which can be used to shuffle people around, force them to switch out, bit of anti-sweeper technology. This also synergizes with Knockoff a little bit as you get rid of Boots and shuffle people around to Hazard Stack. I think Mega Meganium is very promising with Triage, with such an incredible ability. At the same time, I think that what could be an insanely broken ability on the right Pokemon doesn't feel too bad here. There's like 2 moves it can abuse with Triage. Prio Giga Drain's really good, but that's its only real strong offensive option. And you might be thinking, well, why don't you run this as like a Calm Mind Sweeper or a Nasty Plot Sweeper? Unfortunately, Meganium doesn't get any of that. Doesn't get Calm Mind, doesn't get Nasty Plot. I thought it got Growth, but I was wrong. It doesn't get Growth either. Spiritually, I think Mega Meganium has undergone a lot of growth here, but in a literal sense, it cannot execute growth in the middle of a battle. Not this time. I'm going to say Mega Meganium with Triage is excellent. Here's hoping it actually gets Triage in the real game. Now, Mega Ember, they have given Supreme Overlord the ability of King Gambit. For each fallen ally, you get 10% more powerful with regard to your damage output. A pretty fitting choice. It sort of looks like it could have Supreme Overlord, I suppose. I don't think it'll get this, though. Somehow I feel like this is unlikely. Seems like Supreme Overlord's gonna stay signature to King Game, but I could be wrong though. It would be a good enough and powerful enough ability to give Mega Embor something to do. In many people's eyes, the least impressive of the new Megas. I think, compared to King Gambit though, Mega Embor does lack good priority. It gets Sucker Punch, but this is not stab boosted, and that's all it gets in the priority department. Embor Mega does get Flame Charge though. Flame Charge is not only fire stab, but it raises your speed, and this could be the way to go with Mega Embor. And you go maybe Drain Punch, or to be more aggressive, you can Close Combat. Flare Blitz, of course, is an option. Heat Crash might be even better just because it doesn't have recoil associated and still has high power usually. And Mega Embor has respectable physical coverage with options like Knock Off and Stone Edge and Thunder Punch, etc. I think this is promising. If you're a Mega Embor fan, maybe give it a go in this speculative format, because something tells me that in the real game it won't be as good. And for Mega Feraligatr, the ability they have chosen is Dragon's Maw. This is the Regidrago ability, and this grants 1.5x to your offensive stat when using a dragon-type attack. Suppose it makes sense. It's a big dragon mouth themed ability, which is what Feraligatr has. It gains a dragon typing, gains dragon stab. This allows an option like Outrage to do far more damage and be incredible, especially with a base 160 attack stat here. Many also think that this guy will get Strong Jaw though, which is another thematically appropriate seeming ability for a big mouth themed Pokemon. But I could see Dragon's Maw as well. I don't know if this is that good though. I mean, spamming dragon type attacks was a great strategy back in the Dark Ages, but these days we have fairy types in the game who are immune to dragon. You don't really see dragon spam as a strategy anymore. So I don't know if Dragon's Maw is going to help Mega Feraligatr. It's obviously a very powerful neutral damage against many things, but the risk of thudding into a fairy type is frightening. You can still hit fairy types with your other moves, like Liquidation. You still have a very good attack stats. You can probably break through them. Feraligatr is lacking in coverage for fairy types, though. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any good poison moves. It gets Iron Tail as its best steel move, which is not a great one. It's 75 accurate. It's a little inconsistent. So you're really relying on the Liquidation stab to power through the fairies. It's certainly interesting, though. I actually feel like Mega Embor might be a better choice for a physical breaker, just because Supreme Overlord is a blanket boost to all damage rather than just a boost to dragon damage, which Mega Feraligatr gets here. I don't have high hopes for this guy in the ZAOU metagame, just being honest. Also, I still dislike the Totodile helmet. I still think it's silly. I have not come around on Totodile helmet. Totodile helmet is stupid. I would personally say that the character Croc from the game Croc for the PlayStation has a better and more artistically sound design than that of Mega Feraligatr, which is Feraligatr with a Totodile helmet. Now, some are questioning why I'm comparing two crocodiles to one another as if they are inherently pitted against one another just because they are both crocodiles. Some are also telling me that Feraligatr is not a crocodile, it's an alligator. I'm going to go ahead and ignore all of that and assert still that Croc is better. Mega Chestnut has actually been given a new custom ability made by the fans here. This is a new ability called Protective Thorns, and this ability combines the effects of Bulletproof and Iron Barbs. Bulletproof is the ability Chestnut gets in its base state, and it's a good ability granting immunity to ballistic moves. This includes Bullet Seed and Shadow Ball. Any ball-based moves or bullet-based moves you're immune to. Gives you nice immunity to a lot of stuff. And Iron Barbs, of course, is a great ability, borrowed from Ferrothorn, that deals contact damage to enemies if they touch you. I think this seems thematically appropriate. Chestnut Mega looks like it would be immune to bullets, and it looks like if you touch it, you would say, ouch, youch, spiky. My prediction for this guy was that it would get something like Iron Barbs. Even if it just gets Iron Barbs, that's good enough in my opinion. The Bulletproof on top is a nice bonus, though, and a good idea. I would say it's a good idea. And I think Mega Chestnut is going to be a good Pokemon here. It has an incredible 172 physical defense, and with the contact punishment on top, that's just really great. It's got high attack too. Overall great stats here, and it's got good utility. Spikes, knockoff, spiky shield. You can even run a boost sweeper set with bulk up a drain punch. I think Mega Chestnut will be a lot of fun to use here, and I'm eager to give it a go. Mega Delphox is one of the Megas that I was most optimistic about, and With the ability they've given it, I'm now even more optimistic. They've given it Levitate, which it's a simple one, but it's very good, and it also makes a bit of sense because the guy's levitating on a broomstick, a witch's broomstick, is allowing for flight. Now, this could be what they give it. I could also see them giving it some other thing. There's plenty of Pokemon that are flying and have wings that don't have levitate. They often do that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get levitate, but it's a plausible choice, and it would be a great choice because ground immunity goes crazy on a fire type, of course. And even, as I said in my Mega analysis video, even if this didn't get levitate here, I would be pretty optimistic about its future just on the stats alone. I mean, Mega Delphox has some of the most impressive stats of any Mega. It has 134 speed, which is through the roof, and an outstanding special attack to take advantage of that speed. You don't really see fast special attackers be this threatening on top, and with levitate, I think this might be the best Mega. It seems, at the very least, like one of the ones that's going to be at the forefront of things. And it also gets Calm Mind and Nasty Plot for boosting options. It gets all the special coverage it really needs with Stab and some coverage like Dazzling Gleam for a Fairy move, Grass Knot, which complements Fire very well. Mega Delphox, I think, is going to be tremendous. I think it's going to be incredible. In this format and in any other future format, obviously. With stats like these, you can't see this and being anything other than excellent, can you? 125 special defense on top, by the way, just as a bonus. And for Mega Greninja, they have given it another new version of Battle Bond, designed by the fans here, which is kind of funny, because back in Gen 7, Battle Bond turned you into Ash Greninja on KO, right? In Gen 9, they changed Battle Bond to now give you stat boosts on KO, once per battle. Now they've gone and changed it again, except this is an unofficial changing of Battle Bond. It is very doubtful that this is what will be in the actual game. Of course, there's no way they would have this specific implementation of a fan-made Battle Bond, but it's an interesting idea here. This new Battle Bond will grant +1 attack, special attack, and speed after a KO, and also buff the power of Water Shuriken to the same as it gets buffed in Ash Greninja form, 20 power with 3 hits. And I believe if the text is to be trusted here, that unlike Gen 9's Battle Bond, this can provide you more boosts if you get more KOs. Although that would be pretty overpowered. I don't know if that's the case. There's no specificity that it only works once per battle or anything though, so I would think that that's the case. That sounds insane. Yeah, with this ability, we sort of have Ash Greninja 2.0 here, which is a recipe for success. This guy's fast and it can snowball with KOs. It even gets speed off of KOs. This is going to be crazy. Perhaps they'll even scale back this ability a bit if it's too crazy, I don't know. A promising concept for Mega Greninja. For Mega Dragalge, they have given it the ability Regenerator, which many speculate will be the real ability. Many in my comments said, Jimothy, I think this guy's going to get regen. And the reason they think so is that in the Pokedex it makes specific mention of this guy having regenerative cells or something similar to that. There's specific mention of its regenerative powers. And what I said when I analyzed this guy before was that all seemed good except for the fact that it had no healing. This is the best healing in the game. So with this, problem solved. Mega Dragalge is now feeling kind of like Slowking Galarian, but better almost. It has Flip Turn for pivoting, just like Galarian Slowking is a poison type regen Pokemon with pivoting of its own. That's why it's so great, or part of why it's so great. Mega Dragalge has some utility stuff too. Toxic Spikes and Toxic it has. It's got good stab options, Sludge Wave, and a Draco Meteor. Coverage in the form of Fire Blast. I could even see running Scald on this for the burn chance. That's always nice. Plus it's water coverage. And the special defense on this is excellent. It's excellent. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a great Pokemon. And an interesting one. I don't think we've seen like a regen pivot Mega like this, have we? I don't believe so. I think this is a pretty damn unique feeling Mega that is powerful in an all new way here. I'm eager to give this one a go. And critics are even saying that Mega Dragalge is superior to Croc visually. I think that's a bit controversial, but the critics are saying so. Who am I to disparage the critics? Who am I? They have given Mega Holucha his own custom ability here, and an interesting one. It's called Luchador's Pride. If you attack and KO an enemy Pokemon, you receive a speed boost. This is sort of in line with its role in its base form with Unburden being a speed-centric ability, and this would be a good fit on the Pokemon, of course. It already has respectable speed, but having a scaling speed stat that snowballs and ramps up would make sense. Do I think that this will be a good Pokemon, though? I mean, it is a great ability. I think that its stats are a bit low for a Mega, though. And some of the other physical attacking Megas are a bit more desirable from what I've seen, but certainly interesting, and it has all the same great moveset options that Holucha has. Acrobatics is unfortunately not really an option, though, since there's no item that you're losing, so that option is out of the question, but you do have Brave Bird and Close Combat, other such good physical stab. You got Encore if you want to have some sort of disabling effect to help you ramp up and boost. Swords Dance, of course, too. It's got potential. I don't know if this will be one of the top tier Megas, but it has potential. It has potential. Mega Floette has its own custom ability here called Ange? How do you say that? This ability will grant a chip healing effect to Mega Floette and also a damage over time effect to enemy Megas if they're on the field. This is interesting. I'm very doubtful that this will be what Mega Floette ends up getting. Probably just get Fairy Aura or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe some unique effect, but there's no way it'll get this specifically. But this is an interesting ability design that is kind of cool. The chip heal will be appreciated on this. I already said that this was a very promising Mega with its fantastic stats. This is one of the most promising Megas. Mono Fairy with these stats. It's almost Xerneas level stats here, to be honest. And it has Calm Mind and a good move pool. I'm certain that Mega Floette will be great in this. If it had a no ability, I think it would be good. With this ability, it gets chip heal as a Mega, which is a novel idea. I actually like that idea. Plus, you chip damage enemy Megas if they're just existing on the field. That's actually crazy now that I think about it, because you can just switch this in on a Mega and then chip damage them. That's actually quite powerful, especially in such a good defensive Pokemon like this one. I'm gonna call this one of the strongest Megas in ZAOU. This is crazy stuff. Mega Drampa has been given Drizzle as its ability in this format. Many speculate that this will be what its ability is because of the Pokedex mentioning that it summons storms upon hitting the scene, or whatever it says. Something about summoning storms. Drizzle would make thematic sense with that. It would also just fit well, I think. This incredible, beautiful dragon does look like it could summon rain upon switching on the field. This looks more like it can summon rain than Politoed. This makes more sense than Politoed getting Drizzle. Will this be any good, though? I mean, it's the first Drizzle Pokemon that is not a water type, which is interesting. A different defensive profile for a weather setter than we're used to. It can't hold a damp rock, of course, to extend weather, because it has to hold the Dramponite. But it has Hurricane and Thunder, which it can use with Drizzle off the back of an incredible 160 base special attack. It can, of course, also use a powerful Hydro Pump in the rain. Drizzle may also have anti-enemy weather implications. I don't know if Mega Dramp is going to be the weather setter of choice on a dedicated rain team. It could be. It would be limited without Damp Rock, but it's very useful to overwrite enemy weather or have a little bit of weather synergy on your team. Perhaps one other powerful water type that fits with the Drampa. There's potential here. I'm still doubtful because the guy's slow. Drizzle is good, but not the world's greatest ability on this. And for a dedicated weather setter, you probably wouldn't use your Mega Slot or Drampa. But this is certainly an incredibly powerful ability that will give this some reason to be considered on teams. I will be trying Mega Drampa. I will be. I'll see if there's anything to this, because I do like Mega Drampa. And my favorite ability design so far is that of Mega Phalanx. This is another new fan-made ability, and I think it's a great idea. This is very similar to the ability Parental Bond that Mega Kangaskhan gets. This is Brass Bond, it's called. This Pokemon's damaging moves hit 3 times, with each additional hit from this ability doing only 15% of the original damage. This has potential. You got multi-hit moves on Mega Phalanx. Mega Phalanx did need something like this. I said it was a lacking Mega that would probably need a great ability. This sounds like a great ability to me. Parental Bond 2.0. This is going to be a nice damage boost for Phalanx. It's going to be nice to break Focus Sash and Sturdy and stuff with this multi-hit effect. And Mega Phalanx also does not get broken stuff like Power Up Punch or Seismic Toss that synergized so well with Parental Bond and made that overpowered. Now, there's no way that this will be its ability in the original game, because this is a fan-made idea, but it certainly captures the imagination, and it makes you wonder what Mega Phalanx ability Will it be something like this? It makes sense. There's a lot of little phalanxes, and they can all do their part in combat. They can all engage. As a collective, perhaps we could learn a thing or two from Mega Phalanx and its collective approach to life. By working together, they are becoming greater than the sum of their parts. Plus, critics are saying that Croc is nowhere close to Mega Phalanx, visually speaking. Croc sales are declining rapidly ever since this has been released, so that's another factor in Mega Phalanx's favor. And that's pretty much it for the noteworthy new abilities on the Megas. I think most of them just have the same ability as their base form, or one of the abilities that the base form gets. I want to say, though, that Mega Malamar is being talked about among players of this format, and some are saying that it should get a different ability. In the current metagame, they just gave it Contrary. Why did it say Contrarian? Surely this just means contrary, and someone's written Contrarian by accident. What? They're being contrarian here. What have they done? Ability will be contrary. That's not a real ability. It just means contrary, which, of course, inverts stat stages. If you lose stats, you gain them, vice versa, which is good with superpower and such. I said in my analysis that if this got contrary again like its base form, that would not be enough. This needs more than that because the stats are nothing. They are very bad stats on Mega Malamar, with the highest being 120 special defense. Just doesn't cut it for a Mega. Some are suggesting that why don't you give Mega Malamar an ability that on switch in sets Trick Room. This is an ability that many have speculated could exist for a long time, and could be interesting to try it out in this speculative format. It would be a better ability than Contrary on this. Some have also suggested, what if Mega Malamar switches in and just executes the Topsy-Turvy effect? Executes the move Topsy-Turvy against the enemy on switch in, inverting all their stats. That could be crazy. You switch in and turn a Boost Sweeper into a yesterday's Pokemon by inverting all their stats. That could be really good. And would it even be that broken on a Dark Psychic with terrible stats? I don't know. It would be a really powerful anti-boost mechanic, but you still have to run this crap Pokemon on your team to get access to it, so I'm down to try that. It might be overpowered, we've never seen such a thing, but don't you think Mega Malamar deserves something a bit more than Contrary? With all the marketing they did for it, and with its imposing appearance that looks like it could haunt my nightmares. It looks like a cosmic horror. Surely this is not just going to be a low-tier Pokemon. Surely they got to give this something more than Contrary. We will see. I would be hopeful to see a different ability, at least in the speculative metagame here, where we can be a bit creative, can't we? Overall, I'm starting to warm up to the new Megas. I think there's more unique and cool designs than bad ones. There are some that I really don't like Meganium for Alligator. Visually, I don't love, but overall, it's a solid new selection of Megas, and it's not as if the original Megas were that fantastic themselves. Many of them are just the same guy with spikes. That's the joke people make. What if it had spikes on? That's what a lot of them are. It's not like their impeccable visual designs back then either. Perhaps I went in with a bit of a negative attitude there because I wasn't fond of the game itself. I'm not a big fan of the Legends EA game, if I'm being honest, but I think the Mega designs are okay. Especially like Mega Drampa, Mega Holucha, Mega Chestnut are really cool. They're really cool. I like Mega Delphox too. I think most of them are pretty cool. And then Mega Victreebel and Malamar are like out there and crazy. They're actually kind of creative. You can give them some props. Mega Pyroar, it might be the worst Mega of all time. I think Mega Pyroar is the worst Mega they've ever made, but other than that, not too bad, not too bad. And I'm eager to try out this format. And I will be trying it out on my second channel, Jibity Gaming, if you're eager to see the format in action. Maybe check that out. I'll probably build with Mega Starmie first, and maybe Mega Drampa. And Phalanx, I'll try out some of the weirder ones that might not be as explored. But Mega Starmie, you gotta try first, right? You gotta try that. It just sounds so powerful. It just sounds like the most powerful thing ever. Thanks for watching, folks. What is your favorite new ability given to these Megas in this new speculative format so far? I like the Phalanx ability. But what about you? Let me know down below in the comments, and thank you for watching.